Hello and welcome everybody to this yet another session on inner voice intuition by the name Inner Voice Explorations. So, inner voice or intuition, as I see it, is divinity speaking to you through you. That is what my perspective was. And here we have along with us Ranganatha Raju sir, who is the founder of Sanatana Analytics based at Bilampalli. And we would like to know more about what inner voice or intuition means from his experiences, from his learnings, and from his perspective. I believe this will be truly enriching for each of us who is hearing and who is watching this video. Sir, looking forward to learn more from you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So let us, yeah, we can start with what do you feel? What do you think? What comes to your mind at the beginning when someone says inner voice or intuition?
Yeah. Thank you, Sujaya, for inviting me for this call. And it's a very interesting topic. So I've been uh, I've been thinking since uh, my childhood about this so-called inner voice, and I've heard many people talk about it. I've read in books, and as you said, we are running Sanatana Analytics in a small rural place called Belampalli. So we are a 100-member team, and this intuition is a very powerful inner voice is a very powerful tool to guide us during difficult decisions. But however, as you said, how do I define inner voice? So there was this bit of poem uh, I written, and I keep writing dramas for Satsai Seva organization for their Partyatras and all that.
Yeah,
So there is a scene in which we had written
yeah, please
drama
share.
in which there is this piece of line which says, I told him that I am the flute. Then he asked me to look in the flowing waters of Yamuna. I
Okay.
looked in and I saw myself. I turned around, there was none. Who was it who was it to whom I had said? Who was it who heard? Who was it who nudged me to look in the water? Thinking thus, Krishna thought it's just a dream. Thinking thus, Krishna laughed, it's just a dream.
Yeah,
So
great.
I hope I'm making sense. It
Yes,
is
so basically there is no separation, and that is what we need to realize towards the end, but would love to hear more from you. Yes.
Yes, yes. So that's exactly what I
Yeah,
feel. That inner voice, there is no voice that is separate from you that is telling you. No, it's actually you yourself are listening to your own self. Now, these are the two yous that we have defined. There are two different. We will talk about later.
yes. So, going a little into the topic, what do you think are actually blocking? What are some blocks that each of us are carrying? And I'm sure these are all again unique. Each one has their own baggage of problem statements that we get carried along. And so each one of us have our own different blocks. But according to again your pattern, your perspective, your learnings, what do you think are the common blockages that are stopping us from listening to our intuition?
India is considered to be a mother of all civilizations, a lighthouse of civilization for a particular reason. It has provided problem to every spiritual question that humanity can ever or had ever faced.
Mhm.
And the same question was asked even to the great rishis of India, and they have clarified through Upanishads, through their writings. It's a
Yeah,
very often described, very oft quoted subject.
yeah,
So you have you have a mind, right? As
yeah,
English calls it mind, but
yeah.
the Sanatana Dharma, because of the length and breadth of its understanding, it has given a particular name to each facet of the mind. So when you say mind,
Yeah.
Sanskrit doesn't look at it as one entity, it actually calls it as Antakarana, the
Yeah,
combination of four
yeah,
parts. It is manas, one that you do, the part which is done for your day-to-day movements,
Yes.
most like muscle memory. You can, so I have to turn my head, I just turn.
Yeah.
I have
Right.
to chew something, I chew,
Yeah.
right? I have to talk, I
Automatic.
talk. Yeah,
Yeah.
automatic kind of manas.
Mm.
Then you have chitta, that is memory, which is a
Mm.
storehouse of all the experiences that you have gone through. So we
Mm.
have this character, very interesting character called Chitragupta, who
Yeah.
notes down in Yama, in the court of Yama, who he notes down every single instance that you have passed through life. That Chitragupta is nothing but actually it's a caricature of this Chitta,
Yeah.
one that
Yeah.
records every instance that happens in your life.
Yeah.
In the court of time, Yama, that is
Yeah.
nothing but Yama.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah, so that is a Chitta.
Yeah.
Second is Chitta. And third is Ahankara.
Mm.
Ahankara is the mistaken self of, when I say, I told you in the beginning, I said, you are talking, the two yous are different.
Mm.
So the I that I think me is very different from actual me, from the
Mm.
reality of I. That
Mm.
mistaken identity, that
Mm.
is Ahankara. Say, for example, a lion. We know of the famous story where a lion
Yes.
was brought up by a flock of sheep.
Yeah.
And finally, when the lion faces the master, the real lion, this
Yeah.
lion cub, which actually grew up with the sheep, it kind of feels that it's actually a sheep. It's not
Yeah.
able to bleat, and it kind of uh, thinks that it believes that it is actually a
Yeah.
sheep. And finally, the master, the lion, holds him by his neck and then takes him to the river and shows him his real person. And then he realized that, oh my God, I've been actually a lion all the
Yeah.
while, just that I thought I was a goat. So this
Mm.
mistaken identity is that
Yes.
ahankara.
Yeah.
And the fourth one, buddhi. This is what differentiates humans from all other beings,
Yes.
or rather, the flora and fauna, all the
Yeah.
animals,
Right.
birds, all the living beings.
Other
So
species. Yeah.
yes, other species. This is the power of discrimination. What is right? What
Yeah.
is wrong? What is good? What is bad? So
Yeah.
essentially, when we say buddhi, this
Yeah.
in modern sense, probably it is being termed as intuition or inner voice.
Mm-hmm.
The facets of buddhi is essentially this inner voice. Now,
Yeah.
you ask me what actually stops the buddhi being the dominant,
Yeah.
or rather, what stops you from hearing your inner voice.
Yeah.
So
Right.
imagine, yeah, imagine a mirror. Yeah, just hold
Yeah.
a mirror, and then
Yeah.
now when you try to focus a light,
Yeah.
if the imagine if the mirror is covered with soot,
Mm.
will it be able to reflect the light? No.
No.
Fine. If the now mirror is not covered with soot, but imagine this area where mirror is shivering, shaking,
Yes.
continuous, steadily shaking. Will it be
Yeah.
able to reflect steady light?
No. It's
No.
not the complete picture. Yeah.
Yeah, it is not. Now it is, there is no soot, there is no shaking, but imagine if the mirror is tied with a cloth, completely it's just covered with a cloth. Will it be able to reflect the light? No.
No.
So this is
Mm.
exactly the problem with our mind, with
Yeah.
our, when you say your buddhi is,
Yeah.
this light is nothing but our scripture said this light or the endless supreme, it is your own self, it is atma, the
Mm-hmm.
conscious, whatever you call it, consciousness, you call it God, you call it
Yeah.
I, the supreme I, it is that light, is that God. This
Yes.
mirror is your intuition or is your buddhi or is your inner
Yes.
voice.
Yes.
Now why is it not able to reflect? It is because of these three issues. What? Mala is the soot, or which is the impurities that have kind of covered, layered over this buddhi over lifetimes. It's not today, not yesterday,
Yes.
but
Yes.
over lifetimes, right?
Yes.
Now, say then vikshepa, the shivering.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is because it is kind of continuous shift. The mind has this fickleness. Today
Yeah.
it's right now it is thinking about God. Next minute it thinks about the nala that is running around, and the next minute I think about my client asking, and next minute I think about the talk that's happening now. So that
Yes.
vikshepa,
Yes.
that continuous
Yes.
shivering, and last is avarna, the mistaken identity, the complete ignorance of your true identity. It is because of these three reasons,
Yes.
essentially these three reasons: the impurities over lifetime, which is called mala, or
Mm.
vikshepa, the continuous fickleness of the mind, or
Hmm.
avarna, the mistaken identity and the ignorance of the self. These are the three
Yes.
primary reasons which allows you or which
Yeah.
blocks you from hearing the inner voice.
Yeah. So, though our originality has been the Atman, as you said, the original real self, the true self, the universal consciousness, and all of that, somehow we have been covered, and now we are in a stage where we have to put effort and discriminate whether I have to follow my Atma or whether I am kind of shaking or covered up with my false identity or whatever is happening is blocking. So, what do you think has happened that we are in this position where we have to check with ourselves that knock knock, are you listening to what the Atman is saying or are you living your false identity? So that is what is actually blocking us from living our true self, from doing what the
Yes.
Atman is guiding. Yeah.
So can I make a submission?
Yes.
I would
Yes.
say if you can just repeat the sentence that you said, uh, hear what the Atman is saying, or
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
prompting what the Atman is asking us to do,
Yes.
or rather,
So, yeah.
yeah.
So what
Can
I
you?
see as this is a machine, for example, the body, mind, Atman as an entity is a machine and it has to keep moving, it has to keep running. So as you said that the three false identity or a blurring up of the image of our true self image, there could be various blocks. So our buddhi now has to discriminate. Am I looking through these blocks? Am I looking at my life through this false identification? Or am I actually listening to what the universe, my original self, my true self, the universal consciousness is saying? So that is what the role of the buddhi is. So we have to discriminate. So my
Yes.
question
So
was, yeah,
yeah, go on,
how,
please,
yes,
please.
why are we in this situation where now we have to discriminate? We have been the original, by originality we are the universal consciousness, and maybe
My
you can also
intention of
expand on
ask you
how.
to my
Yeah, yeah.
intention of ask you to repeat the question was actually to catch a phrase that you made and try to derive an answer from it. I've understood. Nice. I mean, thank you for repeating it. You're saying the buddhi has to listen to the real self or the atman. Are you do you have to check whether you're following what
Hmm.
atman is saying? Now
Yes,
my question is, who is this you?
yes. Yeah,
So if you have to check whether the atman is, so there is you and there is atman,
yeah.
right? This is exactly the problem of avarna that I was saying.
Yes, yes, yes.
No, it is
That
actually,
separation. Hmm.
yeah, it is not that you need to listen. No,
Hmm. Hmm, hmm.
you are that voice.
Yeah.
You are
I
that.
am in the flow. I have to see myself in the flow, and then I will be in the flow. If I am seeing
Yes,
myself as separate from the flow, then I have to take some effort. I have to put in something. I have to do something, analyze what this God is, analyze what he's saying or she's saying, or what the
exactly.
inner voice is saying. Yeah.
Yes. So
So
if I
I
may
have
ask
to
you,
believe. Yeah.
yes, if I may ask you, other way to look at I'm circling around this inner voice topic. Other way to look at it, the inner voice topic is, who is the one who is listening to this inner voice,
Hmm, hmm,
or
hmm,
rather,
hmm.
who can you? I mean, I'll just lead to my answers through my questions. If you can just
Yes, yes.
answer me, who you think is the one who is listening to this inner voice?
So I feel a little bit of the false identity also is coming up and kind of listening. Um,
Now, let me ask you another question.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
If you think it is false identity that listening, who is the one who knows that there is a inner voice that is speaking and there's a false identity that is listening?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So
Who is the
that.
inner? Who is that
Hmm,
which knows and which sees that there
hmm,
is this
hmm.
inner voice and there is this false identity? Who is that?
It is the
What is that?
Atman itself, actually, that the only witness is Atman. The only I mean, the person who is watching, entity that is watching is Atman only.
That
So
is
we
you.
are the Atman. Yes, yes,
That is
yes.
you. Yes, it
Yeah,
is. It
that
is
is
you.
what
It
we
is
have to believe. Yeah.
exactly. So if I have to ask you to describe that you,
Hmm.
probably the best name
Yeah.
that God has is I.
Yes, yes.
The religious name is God.
Yes, correct.
So the best name that God, that I, what that can you explain it? No, eto vacho nivartante aprapya manasa, sir.
Yeah,
Neither words can explain nor can thoughts comprehend what
yeah.
that I, who is the one who is watching. And you can ask yourself, you can try this with anyone. You will actually, for a minute, you go blank. You don't know how to explain it.
Yes,
You're
yes.
just left speechless because that
Yeah.
is not explainable through words.
Yes, the language becomes limitation. to explain
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Beautiful. So now that is exactly the point that Ramana Maharshi makes.
Hmm.
Now, when you say, how do I listen to inner voice?
Yeah.
When so the point that he's making is, do not differentiate that there is inner voice and there is you that you have to listen. No.
Hmm.
Who is the one? Ask the question. Who is the one who has to listen, or who is the one who knows that someone else has to listen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is the witness that inner voice is speaking to something? The minute you start asking this question, then
Yes.
clarity
Yes.
begins to emerge.
Yes.
These Swami says, Bhagavan Satsai Baba says that
Yes.
a fly, you have a fly.
Yeah.
Fly goes and squats on the mala that is put around Krishna's feet.
Yeah.
And that next second, it goes and sits on the shit that is left over by a dog. And
Yeah.
the next minute, it just goes and sits on a car, on a vehicle. Which now, similarly, mind is also like that. One
Yeah.
second here, next second there, next second there.
Yeah.
But but do you find a fly sitting ever on a flame?
No,
No,
never. Yeah.
never.
Yeah.
In the same way, Swami says, when your mind sits on the flame of this question, who am I? Or rather,
Yeah.
the flame
Ignorance.
of your individual identity, the flame
Hmm.
of the supreme identity, who am I? That I, the flame of I, when it sits on that, automatically the mind melts. Rather,
Yeah.
you become the voice. There is no inner, you become the voice.
Yes. Yes. Correct. Very well put. But coming back to beginner or who is very much, I mean, who is very much drowned with whatever the life is giving them with problems or challenges. I also believe that nothing in life is a problem or nothing in life is a challenge. Everything is only for our spiritual evolution. That is the only goal that we are at. Any material goal also should take us towards the spiritual goal, that is spiritual evolution. But when you have to explain this to someone who's seeing life as a problem, I have to come out of something. Who can help me? Who can I fall back on? Who is it that can guide me? Who is it that can understand me? So I believe the only answer to all of this is our Atman. Who is it can guide me? Who is it that can question, understand me? Who is it that can tell me this is what you have to do? It is only our own self. Nobody else will come and hold our hand and say, this is the next step, this is the next step, this is the next step, other than the God self, other than the Atman, other than the universal consciousness. But to put it practically, is there any way you can explain it to a beginner? Like any practice, or maybe you can start with how you have experienced any practices that you have done to come into this belief that I am the flow. I am already in the flow. That is a belief that I would want to start with. Yeah.
So it is not me who said this. Brain Stacy, who is a very
Hmm.
well known uh, uh, self actualization speaker,
Yes.
motivation speaker, he says
Yeah.
that a definite way exists to find solution to every problem.
Yeah.
Sit quiet for an hour.
Yeah.
Sit quiet for an hour, and you will have a
Yeah.
solution to every problem.
Yes.
So that's exactly, I think, what we need to do. That vikshepa. So when you say that there's a problem, what
Yes.
essentially is happening?
Hmm.
Now, how do I personally solve this at my own end? Rather, what is the solution that I have discovered over time?
Yeah.
Each one has his own way and has his own
Yes.
method. Now,
Yes.
my way is this.
Hmm.
We are running a software analytics company in a small town called Belampalli.
Yeah.
So there is a uh, challenge of talent here. Now there is
Yeah.
a challenge of exposure. There is a challenge of awareness. And
Yes.
despite that, we have been running. And
Yes.
initially, when we wanted to start, we had a lot of questions whether we would succeed or not. So
Yeah.
so we wanted to emulate Swami. Now Swami has lived his entire life in Prashantini and
Yes.
Puttaparthi.
Yes.
So he is our inspiration. We wanted to do it, and then we did.
Yes.
So there were. So why am I saying this? Because when we were starting, we had those, whatever you call it,
Questions,
the
doubts.
yeah, the
Yeah.
doubts in my mind.
Yes,
But
yes.
there was that flicker which kept saying that
Mm.
no, when you're doing good work, it will succeed. Just do it with complete
Yeah,
faith.
yeah,
So that time it was just pure faith. Now over
yeah.
time I realized that
Mm.
whenever you do good work, there
Mm.
is that deep some some sense of satisfaction.
Yeah.
That is nothing but it is that inner voice.
Yes, yes.
And there is that sense of calmness in you.
Yeah.
That is nothing but that inner voice.
Yeah.
Voice is not exactly usage of words.
Yes,
Voice,
correctly. Mm.
voice is, when you say inner voice, it is it is it is some kind of a tapping mechanism that
Yeah.
taps you and makes you aware of its existence.
Yes, I see it as a realization, that's all. Something comes up, that's all. Yeah. Mm.
Exactly. So it is your own self. So initially this was my own
Yeah.
journey, but over few years I've
Mm.
realized that whenever I am in a dilemma,
Yeah.
I write down. And
Okay, great. Yeah.
I've read through what Swami had told us many times. I
Mm.
used to ask when Swami is physically around, I would ask, and we had
Mm.
outsourced this problem of discrimination to Swami. We would go with
Yeah.
whatever Swami says. Now, once the physical form has disappeared, it is
Mm.
rather a tough lesson that we have to learn. We have to find the true connect within the Lord, or
Within.
within that, yeah, within that supreme self, whomever you call Lord,
Yes,
supreme self,
yes,
inner voice,
yes,
whatever.
yes,
Now I have I have realized that when you write down, there
yes,
is a lot of clarity in mind.
yes.
And then when you steadily concentrate and think about it,
Yeah,
not worry, think about
yeah,
it, think
yeah,
about various options.
yeah.
You have one solution emerging, and that
Yes,
and out of multiple options, when you choose one solution, you have a sense of satisfaction.
yes.
And that, you if you realize, Swami talks about a pyramid for life. He says
Yeah,
the base is self confidence,
yeah,
and
right.
the walls are the self sacrifice, and
Mm.
the roof is self satisfaction, and the person
Yeah,
who stays inside is self realization. Now, what
self-realization.
is
Yeah.
self confidence? It is not
Mm-hmm.
the confidence in the mistaken self. It is a confidence in supreme self.
Yes,
Self
exactly.
sacrifice. What is Swami saying? Sacrifice the inner self, the
Yeah, the
mistaken self.
false
Self
identification.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
All self. Now self satisfaction. This is where I was saying that
Mm.
self satisfaction, you, out of multiple options that you have, you choose one option, and then
Mm.
you have a sense of satisfaction deep within. It cannot be
Yes,
explained,
yes,
it has to be experienced.
yes,
So this
correct.
experience cannot be explained, you have to
Yes.
experience it.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
And that, so and Swami says that when you follow
yeah,
in every work, in every step that you do,
yeah,
in every bit of activity throughout the day, when you
yeah,
follow that, when you chase that self satisfaction,
yeah,
automatically self realization happens.
yeah.
Self realization is not something that you need to pursue. No, it is uh, it's a byproduct, I would say, of
Yes.
this kind of living, this
Journey.
kind of pursuit
Yeah.
of self satisfaction.
Yes.
Yeah, so
So, mm,
that's
yeah,
how I
actually,
have.
you have expressed it very beautifully. If I can put it into steps. So you started with writing, which I call it as journaling. So a journaling could be in anything. We are putting out our problems, our gratitude statements, our offerings, our surrender, whatever it is. And while we are writing, we are dropping off our false identity. That is self-sacrifice, if I can say it so. So we are dropping off our false identity, and then we are just sitting with whatever we have put out. We have put out everything, and we are sitting there. We are connecting with silence. So that is the base, the foundation. That is self, the
Confidence.
foundation. Yeah, self confidence. That I do have the Atman. I mean, it's not again. I do have it. I am the Atman. I am the God force. What I put out are the fears, are doubts, are questions that may come from false identity. That is okay. Fearing, thinking, wavering, all that is okay. And then the next step is, yeah, through that silence, I hear something emerge. It could be an anchor, it could be a guidance, it could be some solution, it could be, okay, as you said, yeah, you also covered a beautiful point where I am not jittery, I am not in a panic mode. The body is relaxed. And only when the body is relaxed, we are able to hear what the God is saying, or what our self is speaking mainly. Again, hearing, I do not mean it is audio, but some inner realization that is coming up. For that, the body has to be relaxed. So whatever I've put out, I'm looking at it, or I'm just sitting in silence in a relaxed mode. And then one of it gets picked. Again, there is no I am picking it. It just gets picked. That means God Himself is guiding us, just this machine to pick on it. The ownership is, I mean, it's not about I am claiming ownership, but the drive is coming from the God self, is Atman. Again, that is the same self within, but this machine is picking up that option of whatever you said, that among the choices, one will be picked up. Maybe I will work on it. And through that, there is self satisfaction that, yeah, an outcome. Again, I don't see it as accomplishment, but again, I see it as a humble offering that, okay, I was able to hear. Again, when I'm saying I, it is that the machine or the body was able to take in this input and process this input, because there is a tangible output that I'm seeing. Say, for example, in your case, it's a business, for example, it's a company. There is a tangible output that you are seeing. So again, that can be made as an offering to the divine guidance. And as this cycle continues and continues and continues, we are actually staying in that self-realization always. There is no flickering here and there. Whatever is
Beautiful.
coming from the false identity, I am putting it out. I'm again touching base with silence. I am the witness. I'm something gets picked up. There is no I here. Yeah. We are just being guided to work on it. Again, offering self-realization. So yeah, maybe you've just put it casually, but I've learned a lot. There is a framework actually that anybody in any kind of problem, in any kind of challenge, we can implement this. And personally, I also believe in journaling. I do write a lot. It could be anything. It could be an offering. It could be gratitude or forgiving, or the various problems or fears that I have. It truly works. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, any now this is if you would like to share any personal experience that you would like to share, like it could be in your childhood or anywhere. Very, it could be silly at that point of time. Actually, we may not feel like sharing it with anybody outside also, but where you knew that there was some guidance coming in me, and I did that, and that is what saved me, or that is what helped me, something like that.
Okay. So
And to also add
it
on,
was one
if
of the
yeah,
it
sorry
was
for
one
that,
of the
but yeah,
birthdays.
yeah,
Sorry. Yeah.
continue. No, no, to also add on, if somebody actually puts this question, we are not in a position to express. I understand that phase also, but anything that you like to, you can share that people can relate to. Yes, this also happens. We need evidence. I mean, logically, the mind looks for evidence. With faith, we can completely blindly go by the universal consciousness and all. But yeah, just to help people to relate to, yes, something like this also happens, which I can start implementing. Yeah, please go ahead. I'm sorry for that.
Yes.
Yeah,
No problem. So I have my entire education. I have lived. My entire education was in Prashant Nilayam, Puttaparthi,
yeah,
especially from 11th to PG and double post graduation. Now, most of my experiences, I would go back to that point of time.
yeah,
So
sure.
there was once the President of India, Abdul Kalam had come, APJ Abdul Kalam.
Yeah,
So he had come for Swami's birthday, Bhagwan Satsai Baba's birthday. Now he was asking, he had written a poem in Telugu,
hmm,
and Swami used to call me regularly, very frequently to speak
hmm,
in Swami's presence.
yeah,
And we have an unwritten understanding or a rule that Swami has to ask you, command you, and then you do. Till then,
okay,
come what may know.
yeah,
And so I was known as a Telugu speaker in the student community.
yeah,
And President Abdul Kalam had written this poem on
hmm,
Swami for Swami's birthday. Then he came up to the dais and he said, I have written this poem in Telugu and I want any student to come up and read.
okay,
It was President of India, and I could have been a momentary national star had I got up and picked up the uh, letter that
yeah,
he was holding.
yeah,
But I did not budge. All my
hmm,
classmates were tapping me. They were telling me they were hushing. They were saying that no, no, probably you go. It's all silence, very hushed. Prashant Lem, nobody
Yeah.
speaks in Swami's presence. Swami was just looking and he was watching. And
Hmm.
he was watching. I did not get up. I wanted that sign from Swami. And deep within me, it was telling me that whatever people might say, people were pushing around me, people were telling me, get up, go, passing chits, President of India is calling and all that. I did
Yeah.
not budge
Yeah.
because the inner voice was, for me, it was very strong that unless and until I hear from
Yes.
Swami, I will not get up.
Yes.
And it was telling me, don't get up, don't get up. Till you hear from Swami, don't get up. And
Yeah.
finally, Swami looked at another professor. The professor came and he read out the poem. It
Hmm.
went off well. But there was everybody kept telling me, you missed the chance, you missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
You could have been recognized as President of India and all that.
Yeah.
So that evening, Swami comes to me and Swami looked at me and said, good boy, very good boy. You heard
Hmm.
the voice within. Good boy.
Oh, great. Oh my God. This is such a
And,
revelation. Oh my God. Yeah.
and then I
Yeah.
was so pleasantly shocked and surprised that, and then Swami had his own ways
Yes.
of
Yes.
introducing us to the. I mean, I thought I missed an opportunity to meet president, but it did not matter in Swami's presence, and Swami had his own way uh, of fulfilling whatever little small wishes that I had, those childish
Yeah.
wishes. But
Yeah.
this is something that I feel very profound, where Swami had directly acknowledged
Yes. Yes.
about this hearing the inner
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah. That's what. So, I mean, there are many layers again there also. The inner voice is coming from Swami. The inner voice is witnessing you, whatever you are doing, either listening or being pushed by the fame. I should say a crowd which is pushing you to maybe gain fame or momentary fame at that point of time. So Swami is the witness. Swami is the provider. Swami is the watcher. All that is what is coming up at this point of time. Yeah.
Yes. So this is one of my favorite experiences regarding inner voice.
Yeah. And so regarding blocks, as you told, sitting in silence is once again a very powerful exercise. But in this world of continuous disturbance, actually, what we see it as, again, when we are defining the world as disturbance, we see it as disturbance. But how can one, I'm just asking you as a beginner, so how can I create some time for myself? Now, when I say myself, it is not for myself, but in one of in your flow also, I have noticed that it is a one-to-one connection. It is actually one, there is only one within, but still we see it as one-to-one connection between this machine, this body, and the Atman who is housed within the body. But we are just sitting with the Atman, and we will realize that we are the Atman. Yes, that is a path. But how do I make time to sit, or how do I adjust the day schedule, or how do I first create that excitement that I have to sit? That this could also seem to be boring to somebody. Again, as a beginner, I'm just asking you questions as a beginner. That how can we adjust the day or adjust our thoughts? It could be mental patterns. It could be our habits. So anything that you would like to shed light on this one, shed light on this.
So um, like I told you, we run Sanatana Analytics, and this has a
Mm.
one major division, economic research. In economics, there's a concept
Okay.
called incentive.
Hmm.
So human is an animal of incentive. You give him an incentive, and if he realizes, if he or she realizes that there's an incentive for acting, then, and if the incentive is a reward,
Hmm.
then they continue that loop, that habit loop.
Yes, correct.
So you just have to find, there has to be that incentive of what, of your inner self. So by
Yeah.
doing this act, you don't have to force anyone, you don't have to tell anyone. But
Yes.
the minute they realize that the incentive of doing this is that inner calmness
Inner
or
bliss. Yeah.
clarity or a reduced anxiety, then automatically they follow. Now,
Yes.
you don't need a separate, at least in my little experience, you don't need a separate schedule for this. No,
Yeah.
you have the capability to create that connect
Hmm.
whenever you want and whichever way you want. You just have to be
Yeah.
aware.
Yeah.
What is it that you need to be aware? So there was this one classmate of mine who was actually pouring a tea from a teacup.
Yeah.
And then it is just imagine how much time does it take pouring a tea from the kettle to the cup.
Yeah.
It won't take more
Few
than a
seconds.
minute. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. uh, maybe some 15, 20 seconds. So he
Yeah.
was doing it slowly. And then I asked him, what are you doing?
Hmm.
And he was so calm. He looked at me and said, I'm meditating. I was so shocked. I said, how does it happen? How are
Hmm.
you? It's just 15 seconds, yeah? He said, no, you think it is 15 seconds? No. See, I have lived every second of this experience.
Hmm.
All my senses were completely into this moment.
Yeah.
So that is exactly. So what is the problem with Vikshepa? So we spoke about in the beginning the three
Wavering.
problems, right?
Yeah.
Vikshepa, Mala, Vikshepa, Avarna. Vikshepa
Hmm.
is mind keeps jumping from here, there,
Yes. Flickering.
fickleness
Ah.
of the mind.
Yeah.
So if I ask you now, let me ask you, just think anything, think
Hmm.
anything.
Hmm.
I'll tell you, I'll be able to tell you what you're thinking. Okay, if you have thought something, I'll tell you
Hmm.
this. Draw a box. Okay,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
have in the x-axis you have past and
Hmm.
future.
Hmm.
In the y-axis you have like, dislike.
Hmm.
Your thought, the what you have thought is most
Hmm.
likely to be 99 percentage. It is 99.9999 percentage. It is likely to be in one of these four boxes.
Quadrants. Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, past like, past dislike, future like, future dislike. But where should actually mind be? It is not in the
In the
past, not in the future.
moment.
It should be in
Yeah.
that uh, that point which actually is
Yeah.
intersection
The
of all
zero.
those four quadrants. Yes,
Yeah.
that is the present, which is
Yeah.
neither past nor future, which is there is no like, there is no dislike. Past,
Yes.
future, like, dislike is actually the problem. These are the facets of the mind. Now,
Yes.
Vikshepa,
Yes.
what does Vikshepa do? Vikshepa makes you sit in one of these four quadrants.
Yeah.
Absence of Vikshepa is what? Sitting on that dot.
0, 0. Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
on that dot. Now, that is exactly what this person was doing. When he was
Yes.
pouring the tea, he
Hmm.
was, there is no like, there is no dislike, there is no
Hmm.
past, there is no future. His entire
Hmm.
senses, his entire being was immersed in that
Hmm.
event.
Yeah.
And automatically, you become the voice, or
Yes.
you are
Yes.
the
Yes.
voice.
Yeah.
So that existence, that Satchit Ananda,
Yeah.
that essentially you tend to experience. So there is this beautiful book by Hawkins in which he writes about
Hmm.
his. There are a lot of books he has written. One of the famous ones is Power versus Force and all that.
Okay.
So yeah, he writes about his experience, his life experience. So he
Hmm.
realizes, so there is that the tremendous sense of something welling up in within him. So
Yeah.
he has been diagnosed with some terrible disease, and he says he looks up to God and says, if you are there at the age of 32, if there is
Yeah.
someone called God, if you are up there, or if you are anywhere around, I give myself to you.
Hmm.
And then next day onwards, there's a thought that comes in my mind. I said, I give myself to you. Now, I have no like, I have no dislike.
Hmm.
I exist in this moment.
Correct.
And strangely, within
Hmm.
he does it 100%,
Hmm.
100% commitment.
Hmm.
Next 4, 5, 6, I think within sixth or seventh day,
Hmm.
he is completely all right. His disease is cured, it's gone. And
Hmm.
more importantly, there is the deep sense of fulfillment in him.
Yeah.
He is experiencing endless joy,
Yeah.
and he is full of that bliss,
Bliss.
inexplicable bliss. He's not able to understand what is happening.
Yes.
And that's when he realizes and he reads the experience of Buddha,
Hmm.
Ramakrishna. He reads the experience of various enlightened people, and then he realizes that he is having that experience.
Yeah.
And he says the individual identity has actually broken its knots. It is
Yes.
the boundaries are wiped away. Now it is the
Yeah.
eternal self. It is the supreme self.
Yeah.
And how did this happen? Those 4 or 5 days, he gave up that like, dislike, past, future, and it happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So how
So,
do I connect to
yeah.
that voice? Get away
Hmm.
from these four quadrants. It automatically
Yeah.
happens.
Yes. Yes. Letting go of our individual self. So we
Yes,
are already connected with the universal self. You need not make an extra effort to connect. You are already that universal self. We should
exactly.
just let go of the false layers, false identification. Yeah.
Yes. And a simple technique that I have found it works very well is I tell this to my team also. So there
Hmm.
is one person who came crying. Then I
Hmm.
made him write. I said, so I made him write. So I said, so he started writing. I asked him to write. He said, I am
Yeah.
feeling sad. I am feeling let down. I am feeling
mm,
left out. Then I asked
mm,
him, so who is the one? So I asked him to write. I put a box and said, tell me, write down who is the one who knows that you're feeling let down.
mm.
And I said, stay on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Every question. So he wrote like 9 questions. So I
Mm.
asked him every one of these 9 questions, answer that and then go.
Yes.
So he tried. He said first one he could not, second one he could not, third one could not. I know he will not be able to answer. Fourth one
Yeah.
could not. But what happened in the process? By fifth one, he started smiling. By
Mm.
by the time he reached eighth, he was
Mm.
he was blissful, I would
That
say.
confidence that, yes,
Yes,
yeah.
it just came up because that
Mm.
layer was actually that mala,
Mm.
the vicissitudes of the mind were
Yeah, yeah.
covering the waves of the mind of anger or frustration were covering his
Yes,
buddhi. So
yes.
when he kept his attention towards that, who is the one who is feeling frustrated, who is the one who knows that
Mm.
that I am frustrated, who is the one who knows that I am insulted. So
Mm-hmm.
it, like as Swami said, like the fly went and sat on that flame of the self.
Yes.
Automatically the fly got burnt, the mind disappeared.
Yeah.
And by question 9, he was very blissfully walked out smiling.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you rightly mentioned also, we don't like what should I do to make me motivated? But it does not help. Anything outside can motivate me for say 1 hour, 2 hours. I keep thinking about that. Maybe somebody achieved something by doing this practice. For example, this being in the moment, being present. I get motivated, but ultimately, if I have to do it for myself, I should be having that inner urge, that inspiration coming from within me. And as you said, the incentive, or it's also called in psychology as a reward system, where you do something, you see a reward, and then you are compelled to do more of it. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and this reward only comes when you do it. So first do it. I mean, so as you said, you first experience it. You don't need to uh, first sit. Again, it's not about sitting, you can do it all through the day. So first be in the moment, and then you will slowly start to feel that experience, that itself is a reward, that itself is the incentive for you. But yeah, so it is not like there is a reward and hence I have to do. Let me stay in the moment. I can see my reward for myself. I will inspire myself. I don't need anybody from outside to motivate me. This is what I am getting at, this is what I've learned. Yeah. Yes, so this was a very enriching talk. Any concluding lines that you would like to share? And there are many things that I have learned. I've tried to summarize a little bit of whenever I could, but there are many things that one can learn watching this video or hearing the audio on podcast. So, any concluding lines?
So there was uh, uh, this blind person called Surdas. No,
Huh.
he would sing uh, very pathological songs. I mean, songs filled with patho. And
Okay.
I am a pathos. I am a blind man. I am
Mm,
an incapable man. Save me,
mm,
help me. So
mm,
one day he was brought to the presence of Vallabhacharya was passing through that town.
mm,
So the villagers took pity on him and they said, and they told him that Vallabhacharya is a famous guru. Go
mm,
and sing in his presence. You might get some help, some support. So he
mm,
was brought to presence of Vallabhacharya and he started singing.
mm,
Oh, oh, great one, oh, noble one, please help me. Please help this blind person. Please help this disabled person. Vallabhacharya, he was mellifluous voice, beautiful, amazing voice, soothing voice.
yeah.
Vallabhacharya shouted, he said, stop it. And he was stunned. And entire hall went silent. Nobody understood why.
Mm,
Vallabhacharya looked at him and said, why are you crying? He
mm,
said, I give you today the staff called Krishna.
mm,
And he said, hold this, and he will take you to places that you cannot even imagine.
mm,
And 20 years pass by, and the same Surdas, when he is approaching Mathura, they
mm.
say that people have lined up for 5 kilometers to have a look at this blind saint who has seen Krishna. So
Mm,
each one of us, like the Vallabhacharya who gave that staff
mm,
called the Krishna,
mm.
that Krishna is nothing but each one of us have that staff within us.
Yes,
Have
yes.
that strong
Yeah,
staff.
yeah,
It'll take us to places. All that we need to
yeah.
do. is just like the way Surdas held it. We are also
Hmm.
blind to the ways of the world. We are
Yes.
also blind to what will happen in the
Hmm.
future. And
Yeah.
uh, there is so much that we don't know,
Yeah.
just like Surdas.
Yeah.
And all that we need to do is just like the way Surdas held on to the staff called Krishna. We need to hold on to the staff called the inner self or your true self. The
Yes.
Krishna, like I told you, Krishna is probably the name given by Yashoda
Yes.
to that body.
Just
But
that name and
Krishna's,
form. Yeah.
yes, which the Krishna, the real name, if I have to call it, is
Yes.
I, the
Yes.
supreme I. And the
Yes.
religious name we give as God. The
Yes.
name that is given by mother is Krishna. So
Yes.
what that day Vallabhacharya gave to Surdas is that staff called the, the self.
Yes. Right.
We need to just hold on to that. How do we
Y-
hold on?
Yeah.
My little suggestion that I have found beneficial is
Yes.
every 1 hour or put some time, whatever, 1 hour, 2 or 3 hours. Just
Yes.
spare 1 or 2 minutes and say you're angry. Probably anytime you have say I have like a buzzer like
Yeah.
every 40 of 1.5 hour it goes off. So
Yeah.
that means whatever thought I might be having, I might be angry,
Yeah.
I might be sad, or I might be ecstatic. But I
Yes.
ask this question: Who
Yes.
is the one who knows that I am happy?
Yes. Yes.
Who is the one who knows that I am sad?
Yeah.
And I tell you, the peace that comes would actually prevail
Yeah.
for the next 1 hour in that
Yeah.
1 or 2 minutes. So this
Yeah.
is something that any of us can try. This is what I have found
Yeah.
beneficial.
Yes, guys, very helpful. So I also have these reminders where I just go back and see what is happening. That's all. I mean, not externally. Yes, as you said, in the inner world. And for the example that you have shared as well, so Surdas in that case was looking for an outside help, any help that is coming from outside, from an external source, whereas he has been he has been guided to tune his senses inwards, and that is exactly where each one of us have to do. That we have to tune our senses not outwardly but inwardly. Where who else can help me? What else can help me? Instead of those questions, tune inwardly, and then we will realize that the huge source of help is actually within us and is us. We are already in that flow. We are already that the universal I. That is where
Beautiful,
that is what I see. Yeah.
beautifully put, beautifully put.
So once again, thank you very much for your time.